Welcome back to the channel, fam. Welcome back to the channel. This is Brian, the introverted marketer. It ain't hard to tell, it's simple. Now, first and foremost, I gotta be upfront with y'all. I did this video yesterday, but the file got corrupted, so I'm shooting this video again. This is take two. So with that out the way, let's talk about why we're here. This is my third video, Nano Banana Prompt Builder Pro. They just came out with V2 for Windows. So I'm back on Windows shooting this video again. You can see right there. Getting ready to tap in with Nano Banana Pro Builder. You can see I already got it booted up. But before we get to that, just want to take a look at the sales page. You can see at the time of this recording, it is January 23rd, 2026. They have PromptGeek has managed to get over 1,000 sales, 1,061 to be exact. Shout out PromptGeek. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be testing out today for you. So we got UGC and social media marketing presets. We're going to get into a little bit of that, see what that looks like. Multi-character support. We're going to get into a little bit and see what that looking like. The image to image, we're going to get into that as well. And we're going to test out the style transfer. So really, nothing too crazy. It shouldn't be too long of a video. We're going to do what we need to do. I'm going to go right down the line. Just, some social media type, UGC type. Just, showing off some products. I already have all the prompts and everything with all the images in GenSpark, which is my tool of choice. A little GenSpark plug. If you're looking for a tool that's actually unlimited Nano Banana Pro at the time of this recording, GenSpark for about $25 a month. They're giving, at the time of this recording, unlimited Nano Banana Pro, I believe, until the end of this year. Nano Banana Pro and I believe Seed Dream. So that's why I'm using GenSpark to get few of my seed images. And then I put it into Nano Banana Pro to get those angles. Now, also transparency check, just so you can see. The 22nd, I was shooting some. I did do some shooting, so my bill is up to 1227. I'll pay that on the first, and we're gonna run it up a little bit more, doing some testing. So once again, using Gemini API, it can be costly with Nano Banana Pro, but if you want to use arguably one of the best, if not the best, image generators, you got to pay to play if you're using the Gemini API billing. Now, I hope that PromptGeek implements Open Router and different image generators. I don't know if they're going to be as great as Nano Banana is with getting the different angles, because we know Nano Banana Pro is good at doing that. But I do hope that in future updates that PromptGeek does implement those. So one thing I do want to tell you, $14.99, and PromptGeek did just update this. So if you still thinking about it, family, I mean, it's not much to think about. This is an active project going on. The developer's been responsive. So I'm really trying to support and push the developer out here. The community's behind it. $14.99. You get the Windows version. We on 2.0 right now. And you can see with the Mac versions, they still on 1.5. So I was reading through the developer's actual page. And what they were saying was they're going to get a Mac Mini, perhaps, so they can further optimize the Mac version to get it up to speed or on par with the Windows version. Apologize for the dog barking. It's early in the morning over here, and she always aggravated about something. But we're going to go ahead and get into it with the multi-characters. I'm going to go ahead and plug everything in, and then we're going to take it from there, family, because I already got everything saved in GenSpark. So I'm going to catch y'all when everything's ready, and I'll show you how that multi-character is looking. Or ever first, we'll do the UGC, then we'll get to the multi-character. All right, family, so let's get right into it. So you can see right here, got my character, got the outfit, got the object that they're going to be promoting, rather. The AirPods Pro Max, or the AirPods Max, rather. And here's the scene. You can see it pulled it off flawlessly, but also before we get into that, you can see now you can actually save the preset. So save current selectable options as a preset. You can edit, which wasn't available if I recall, in the 1.5, and also with the assets, you can save, rename images to assets folder. Got the gallery and stuff right there, and of course you could copy it, right? So just want to take a look at our images right here. Here's our star right here. You can see consistent. Got the AirPods Max in there, all the products in there. We have the MacBook, we have the iPhone, we have the iPad, and we have the AirPods. Looking real consistent. The only thing is the shoes have laces. That's the only problem. You can see the shoes over here, they don't got laces. So that's the only issue there. In the one image with the shoes got laces, but for the most part, everything was good. So I think it kept it together well. But we're going to go ahead and test out that multi-character because that's a new feature, family. Simple. All right, family. So I got to say, I don't think they got the faces right here. Even though they do got all the characters in here and they looking kind of crazy. Actually, that's kind of dope. Let's keep that. Let's keep that. But here's what our characters actually look like. I like how this all look right here. Even though you didn't get the characters look like, that's why I say that image looking kind of tough right here. Got the Arasaka and everything. It go crazy. But guess what? Remember how I said if you don't like the primary render, you could just generate it again. So now we're gonna just go ahead and generate that again. Try to see if we can get the characters to look consistent on this one. But I did want to show you that sometimes you do get it wrong. Because AI is not perfect. Nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. So sometimes you just gotta keep going until you find an image that you're satisfied with. You just gotta be mindful of tapping your API key each and every time you do that. That's why you see I got it at 1K, and even keeping it at 1K, coming up to about we're gonna touch about 100 or so images, I believe, through my testing. It's probably gonna cost me about 20 or so bucks at 1K, which is not really an issue. So you can see here it's still struggling a little bit. Doesn't really look like our character. So that's the issue sometimes with AI. It did get our main character here, and I argue that this is a step up in how our female character looked right here. It's more looks more aligned with how she looked. But we're gonna go ahead and generate that image again because once again this is the primary render and we still testing out the multi-character function. So we're gonna go ahead and generate that one more time and let it do what it do. Now notice I don't have anything here because I'm not trying to add any other enhancements. Just keep the aspect ratio, no style or camera or mood or anything like that because I have everything here in the elements tool that I want, right? From the scene to the objects and the outfits everybody is holding, everybody is wearing, and the actual location where they're at. So that's why I'm not really touching any of these because I already did all the testing with these. So we just want to get it to show a consistent character. If it don't show it on this third time, I'll probably still keep going. Here we go. Now we got it. You can see right here. It's all our characters right here. And they're holding each of their items. So this is a fine primary image right here. And then I just want to generate some scenes because when I was doing it before, we had some pretty dope scenes. I just didn't save anything. The file got corrupted. So we're going to generate some scenes, maybe about 4 or 8, just to see the characters in different scenarios and how Nano Banana puts them all together. So that's what we want to do. Now here we can see. We're going to generate some more while we're waiting. Here's the back angle. Here's our star right here, one of our stars. Here's another one of our stars. I don't know. A little bit of an issue right here. I don't know why there's a hand right here. Something like this. I would just probably take this and modify this to remove the fingers from there. But before we look at those, we can look right here. You can see right here, they put them in different scenarios. Then we go over here. You can see them looking up. It's looking fine right here. The faces look a little bit weird as the camera angle is further away. Our female character right here, it looks a little bit off right there. But the characters look relatively consistent for the most part. Then you can see our female character up close. There we go. Once more. It's looking real tough right there. And then pretty much right here, it seems to have the issue with the female character face for some reason. Nano Banana struggling, but for the most part, everything's been pretty consistent. And very, very, very dope angles. Just a little bit of weirdness with the face. But that's the Elements tool, and really, we've just been testing out the multi-character right now. We've seen how, for the most part, Nano Banana is able to take the elements here from the outfits, the objects in the scene, and put it in here, and it works out pretty well. And this gallery function doesn't seem to be. So so here we have a preset library, and I'm wondering what these buttons are right here. So let me just see what. Okay, so the preset library. Right here, you can see different things. So shout out to PromptGeek. Shout out to PromptGeek. We're going to test out the preset library as well. Shout out PromptGeek. I finally got it now. So these are already presets set up for you. And you could just go. We'll test them out. Why not? Nothing here. We won't use anything. We'll just see what's going on in the presets. And we'll just generate an image and see what it's looking like. So, okay, so you need to put something here. So with the presets, it doesn't really put anything in the subject and the action and environment, anything like that, but it does give you the angle, the light and the mood, the camera body, no lens type for this particular preset, no focal length, but it does give you the film stock, and it does give you the filter effect, and it does give you the constructed prompt. So a photorealistic image of a close-up shot of a subject, seen as illuminated by harsh midday sun, captured. So I guess we can go with that subject right there, a woman in a trench coat checking her phone. So we can go ahead and we can go with that. Copy that. We'll let it do its thing. And we can see with the presets, we have a whole bunch of things that the developer put in there. So if you just want to test certain things out and just see how they're looking, you can do that just to get you up and running, something doing. And there you have it. And then you have the prompt right there. So different presets. Romantic comedy. I wonder how that's going to look. So you could take any of these presets, and then you could take it characters and stuff like that. And if you wanted to use a preset, it would apply everything from the lighting and the lighting in the camera to your character. And you can see that's how it look in the actual romantic comedy 80s teen drama, 70s. So you have a bunch of presets here: YouTube Studio, local TV interview, sitcom, paparazzi, beauty. I wonder how this beauty is gonna look. So we could go ahead and test that out. We'll generate. We've been doing every. Okay, so it also changed the aspect ratio. So I didn't notice that. So each of these presets, they may also change the aspect ratio. And there you have it. So that's just testing out some of the presets. This gallery function, it doesn't seem to do anything right here. So curious what this gallery function is supposed to be. It says open autosave folder, but at this point, right now, it's not doing that. So that's that. But what else are we gonna test? Let's go back over here. So we kind of did the UGC type thing. Well, at least with the AirPods Max, we did the multi-character support with the cyberpunk type scenario. So they do have the image to image, which really to me, it's like you could just take, like, they show an example right here. You have a character wearing one thing and then you put them in another thing. So I guess we can do that, even though we kind of just demonstrated that with the UGC, where we had our character that was originally in a suit and then they wound up wearing the the regular comfortable clothes while they was doing what they was doing. But we could do that. So stand by, family. All right, family. So here's a scenario. So instead of actually putting the outfit in the outfit, I just put in the global reference so it's applied to all generations. That is just gonna be this dress right here. But really, it could be anything. And then we have our main character here, female, sitting on the subway. I didn't put anything in the scene. So here is what the actual primary render came out with. To me, it didn't matter that what the subway wasn't there. What mattered was it captured the subject and put her in the outfit, which it did. This one looks a little bit different. Looks like a different person, different hairstyle. But for the most part, our character's looking pretty consistent. They even put in another character. I like how they're taking a picture of the sunset. That's pretty dope. And yeah, it's just been, for the most part, Nano Banana Pro gets it right more times than not in terms of the character consistency. And this tool with the angles, you can see the angles have improved a bit, in my opinion. Even though they're still random, I still wish you could regenerate individual angles. If possible, PromptGeek, if you can make it possible to generate individual angles that we are satisfied with, like this would be fine if we could just regenerate it because it's a different person. We want it to look like our main character, but I think that's fine. What else do we have here that we, so image to image, and of course there's the style transfer. We've pretty much seen that the multi-angle generations they look pretty good. This is a great example right here. But they also have the style transfer. You see the female right here, the Asian female right here. It looks like right here she's sitting in the bus stop. Then you can see right there change the lighting. Then you can see right here put her like in a spaceship, and you can see right here they put her like in like the desert right there. So we could go ahead and test that out as the final part. We go ahead and clear all, and I think what we want to do is I think we'll stick with our female here, even though yeah, I think we'll stick with our female here because she's sitting down. So you can see right here when you put your character here, you can mess around with anything here to change how the character's actually looking. And we also actually tested that out with the presets. But if you just wanted to change individual styles and aesthetics, you could go with different photographer styles. You could go with different movie looks. And of course, you could go with different filters. So let's say we wanted to go with, let's say we want to go with like something like Back to the Future. Let's see how that would look, the movie look or aesthetic. We don't need the global reference this time, so we can get rid of that. And we could go ahead and generate that image. And you can see right here in the constructed prompt, once again, you can save it as a preset. You can edit it if you want. You could copy it if you want. You can see here a photorealistic with the visual aesthetic of the movie Back to the Future with 1980s color pop and subtle film grain, no blur faces. So once again, Nano Banana Pro Builder can be used as a super duper prompt builder, because all you would do essentially is replace this and just take the prompt. So you can see right here, right? Took a character. You can see she was on a New York City subway, and they put her in. This looks like a diner right here. So it's just a bunch of different options right here. Like whatever it is that you want to do. Let's go with this. With Nano Banana Pro Builder, you could do it. Different camera and gears, different style and aesthetics, different lighting. So I think that's going to be it for this one. We'll just let this one run. And you can see right here, this time it put her in the back in the subway, but it just changed the lighting. So AI is not perfect. It does different things, but I did want to just do a brief video showing the multi-character support, the UGC type, the image to image, and really just showing that the angles have improved. But I think I'm gonna end the video here. Once again, family, we go back over to this is version 2.0. If you already tapped in, it's available for download right now. It is January 23rd, 2026. Shout out PromptGeek. You can see they got over 1,000 sales. Matter of fact, let's refresh this page. Yeah, they still got over 1,000 sales right now. They just came out with version 2. I just did a video a few days ago on version 1.5. So the developers listening to the community, actively updating it, and people are loving the tool. So once again, there'll be a link in the description below for PromptGeek's channel. The actual video of PromptGeek shows you a little bit more in depth on how to use it. And also there'll be a link in the description below for PromptGeek's Gumroad if you're interested in picking it up, which I highly recommend you do. $14.99 for both Windows and Mac, and you get continuous support from the developer. The developer is really responsive, and I can't recommend this product enough. Shout out PromptGeek. And I'm going to end the video right here. This is Brian, the introverted marketer, and it ain't hard to tell. It's simple. I'm gonna catch you on the next video, family. Peace.
It ain't hard to tell.